Battleborn is $10 in Australian retail, having had its back against the ropes and nearly a year later, it's back with a ton of content. New characters, new stages with new game modes, and an updated interface. A crazy amount of content considering competitive multiplayer is now free to play. It's great on paper, but without anyone readily available, what's it for? I was impressed when I started playing story mode. The prologue was filled with cartoon cutscenes of space agents that kicked ass. It had the thrill of a Saturday morning cartoon. The action was also nicely paced to begin with. I traversed a linear level, did some of the simplest puzzles, and faced down against an oversized boss. It took about 15 to 20 minutes to get through, and I was pumped to play the next chapters. But they weren't as kind. It's not that the enemies were more challenging, but it was a mix of a longer level and simply more repetition that the initial charm of the smart-mouthed dialogue wore off. It didn't help that it took much longer to take down the boss, making me feel that all my leveling up wasn't amounting to much. It was clear that even the story chapters were designed as a multiplayer experience. If only there were other players who were still game to go through the chapters, they might actually be worthwhile. So I decided to let go of the story mode and hop onto my first multiplayer experience. Though the waiting time said long, it was relatively quick to match up with others and mow down the AI in Incursion. It was fun without being too complicated. The helix system when leveling up was clearly explained. It was cool that I got to upgrade different turrets, and I appreciate the extra quest which actually got me to dig a bit into the lore and the different factions. I immediately hopped on for my next match. That though was easier said than done. Although I was first relieved to see that the wait time had been reduced to average, it actually took longer to get into a match. So long that I decided to go after a single player game which wasn't nearly as fun. It neither gave me the rewards nor fulfilled my quests. Just when I was about to give up, I played what would be my last match. All the waiting took so long that it was already getting late. I've tried matchmaking on different times and different days, and I've come to the conclusion that it's just too unreliable. When I'm happy to get home after a long day at work, the last thing I want to do is spend more time waiting. If there are more players in the upper ranks, I would still need to play on the beginner level to get there. So even after Battleborn has adopted a free-to-play system and the full version is an absolute bargain, it's still pretty tough to embrace.